Hi everyone, this is Marty McDermott from Franchise Interviews, and welcome to another edition of Great Quotes in Franchising, where each podcast you get to hear a great quote in franchising. You know, Don and I have been hosting franchise interviews now almost during that time. We've had some incredible quotes on the show. Today you're going to get to hear from one of the authors of Street Smart Franchising, Joe Mathews. And this truly is a must-read before buying a franchise. And Joe's going to talk about the 4 key ingredients of the most successful franchisees, and he calls it the KASH model of success. Listen to what he says. It's really quite fascinating.
You know, not like from a command and control technique, but just by asking.
Exactly. And so when you were talking about knowledge, Joe, I remember in the book you mentioned it was a model. It was called KASH, K-A-S-H, the K being part of that. Could you talk a little bit about that? What exactly is that?
Well, yeah, the KASH model is the secret formula of winning at anything. So if you look at what peak performers have, they all pretty much have the same KASH as other peak performers. In other words, peak performers, they have a tendency to know the same things. Like they know what they need to know to be successful, right?
Right.
So that's K is knowledge. And what did we already say about knowledge?
It's overrated.
It's way overrated, right? Okay. A is attitude, which is extremely underrated. Right. Now, if you look up attitude in the dictionary, it's not about good attitude, bad attitude. Attitude means how you relate to things.
Right.
So a franchisee who's a peak performer or has a high level of KASH, they have a certain relationship with the franchisor that other underperforming franchisees don't have. They have a relationship with their customers. They have a relationship with their products and services.
Right.
They have a relationship to things like advertising. They have a relationship to what it is to go to work in the morning. It's a much more powerful mindset, than people who aren't winning. S is skills. They're good at everything they need to be good at.
Right.
And the most important thing, habits.
Right.
It's like where they spend their time.
Right.
In any business, it's the old 80-20 rule. The typical person wastes 80% of their time on things that generate 20% results and only invest 20% of their time on things that generate 80% of the results.
Yeah.
So what are those 80% activities? And are you engaged in them? Are you focused on the high priority activities that generate all the results? When I'm coaching a franchisee, that's the first place I look. When they tell me they're not winning, don't tell me where you think you're spending your time, document it.
Right.
I want to know where you're spending your time and on what. And you know what? When they actually look at where they spend their time on paper and how long things take and what little it produces and how much they waste, when they're done throwing up, they have a huge breakthrough in results.
Right, absolutely.
Most of the time, it's time management.
Yeah, you mentioned in the book, Joe, I think a lot of our time is spent on minutia. So I think is what you said. It was interesting.
And Joe, habits should always be reviewed and, I guess, evolved. I mean, habits, should always be changing, basically, right?
I didn't hear the question. One more time?
Your habits should always are always being reviewed and evolving. Habits should always be changing, basically, because businesses can change and people don't want to get into bad habits. So that's always kind of evolving, right?
Yeah, it depends on the business model. Yeah, so some business models, there isn't a whole heck of a lot of change. Franchisors, a lot of them are fairly low tech. Like the sponsor of this business is, Molly Maids, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the technology are vacuums.
There you go.
So there you want them to get into a rhythm and just do the same thing over and over and over again and beat it into the dirt.
Exactly.
I'll maybe talking more about the marketing and advertising, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there are aspects of the business that need to change, but typically franchise businesses are fairly low-tech, rhythm-type businesses. Like once you got the winning formula,
right,
you just beat it into the dirt. You wake up, you execute it. You wake up the next day, you execute it again.
Right, that's why people are paying the royalty. That's why people are paying the royalty fee. They're buying into the system. It's already there. It's already a winning formula.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good. So you